Okay, ito Sir Ronald, pag-usapan natin itong opposition. So, we had a little bit of discussion on that at kasalanan mo yan na, ikaw na lang Richard, Hindi, ako, for me, ganito, I think it's very important na ang position ng opposition is, we can do better. In a sense that, hindi yung usual na evil si Digong, diktador si BBM. I don't think hindi bebenta yan. I think there should be first this element na, sayang ang Pilipinas, sayang kinabukasan ng mga anak nyo, ganun. Especially sa masa, no? If we don't put competent and malinis na tao dyan. But in a pa-decente, pa-woke, nakakainis na dilawan way, right? I think we can do better. That could be one approach. Another one is what we have been saying, Team Philippines versus Team China. Now, election is about making sure yung mga pro-China, mga makapili will never be in power again. Or at least we set a patriotic floor for national elections. And then third, I think this is also an election where there's a chance for the Bamaquinos and for Kiko Pana to show that the opposition in the Philippines can evolve and adapt, right? And adopt also nice strategy. Na hindi yung paulit-ulit style na, what worked for Corazon Aquino may have worked a little bit for Lenny or whatever. But hindi na pwedeng ganyan, diba? You need leaders who can get things done. You need leaders na relatable. You need leaders who are cool effect. The cool effect is very important. Hindi lang yung decent na dapat may cool effect and all of that. And also my understanding is in the case of, for instance, of Bam Aquino, there should be no apology for being an Aquino. Despite all of the Aquino attacks and all throughout the years, sabihin mo lang, bakit? Hindi kami mamamatay tao. Hindi kami kuting. Bakit? Yung binoto mo, maka ng inflation niyo dyan ngayon. Di ba? I mean, you have to be like that. Di ba? At least kami mga Aquino, ganun. So, I think he has to be a little bit like that. No? Medyo is Cynthia Villar niya. Di ba? Bakit? And then with Chel joke, ang sense ko kay Chel kasi is, in an era of Tulfo, rise of Tulfo, you cannot be parang public education guru of law. You have to go there and say, hey, tunay ako abogado. I know what I'm talking about. I'm dean of one of the leading schools. Tatay ko si Jokno, the great senator. You want someone like me to be there and to fight for you, right? But like major in your face type. So, yun ang sense ko. And with Kiko, probably you know better than me how to approach that question. I don't know. Ako, ganitong sense ko for a revived new opposition. And I'll ask Bam also and others about that as I start this interviewing of the different candidates in the coming months. Ikaw, Ronald, what is your sense of, do you think there's chance now for revitalize opposition?
Ang sense ko, dapat kunin ka nilang advisor.
Hindi nga ako pwede kasi I'm saying this openly because I don't want to be attached to any campaign.
We've been talking about this since last year pa, di ba? Di ba? Paulit-ulit natin pinag-uusapan ito. They have to scale up. They have to read the landscape properly. No? Dapat meron silang ibitawan, pero dapat meron silang i-continue. Hindi naman lahat bibitawan mo eh. Dapat dialectic siya. So, pero they have to kailangan nila magsalita dahil almost 2 years tahimik sila eh. Buti ngayon, nagsasalita na si Bam. Buti ngayon, he's making the rounds.
Na hindi October election day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, good.
So, meron siyang ginagawa. Pero nitong nakaraang 2 years, hinahanap natin sila eh. At kinausap ko rin yung iba sa kanila, sabi nila right timing. Yun yung term na sinabi sa akin. Hindi ko na sabihin kung sino yung mga kausap ko. Sabi nila, right timing. No?
Tago natin sa pangalan na, I'm just kidding.
Oo. Kaya, buti naman, may ginagawa na ngayon, no? At, pero, kailangan pa rin, what's the brand? What's the peg? No? What's the narrative? Na naiiba dun sa mga nagbubunggo ang higante. No? Yun yung, wala na magagawa eh. Biyak na yung Duterte at Marcos. Yeah. No? Ibig sabihin, kahit maging threat yung opposition, the real opposition, hindi na magbabalikan yun eh. Tapos na yun eh. Di ba?
Ako, Ronald, my best advice is be experimental. You have a few months until October. Just do different things. See parang Duterte said, magtapon-tapon lang kayo. See if something...
Yeah, pero siyempre, babagay din dapat yan dahil hindi mo naman aasahan si Bam na maging...
I mean, within the range of what's bagay sa brand mo, di ba? Kasi tactics tong pinag-usapan natin, hindi strategy. The strategy should be clear, di ba? Pero yung tactics, I think you have to be a little bit experimental in the next 4 or 5 months. Message-wise, ano yung tatatak sa isip ng tao?
And at the same time, hindi masyadong cluttered. No, kailangan yung
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
consent.
That was
Yun, dahil kung masyado ka namang experimental, baka maguluhan din yung mga tao sa messaging mo. Dahil
Well, at the
i-try.
very least, they have to remind the people that they exist, right? Kasi medyo
Yeah.
nakalimutan ng mga
Yung experiment kasi ginagawa mo yun sa FGD eh. Ginagawa mo yan sa
yeah.
yun yung kwan. Pero in public, after the FGD, so ito na yung sasabihin mo. No? Ito na yung sasabihin mo. Kaya yun yung lagi natin sinasabi, kailangan magtaob ng lamesa. Ang ibig lang naman natin sabihin, maging disruptor. Dahil hindi pwede ang slow burn. Dahil in 4 months, filing candidacy na eh. Diba in 4 months? So, simula na yan eh. So, kinakailangan mo maging disruptive. For lack of a better term, kailangan mong magtaob ng lamesa para makita na nandiyan ka. Nakita ka na nandiyan ka. No? Yun yung isang kinakailangan gawin. At syempre, gagawin yan, sabi mo nga, within certain parameters na hindi naman masyadong
Pasok pa rin sa hindi yung
hindi
padyak-padyak
naman
ka
off
tapos
sa
nakalakos ka.
personality mo, di ba?
Hindi yung nakalakos ka
Oo.
tapos nagpapadyak-padyak ka. Hindi pwede yan.
Yeah. So, parang ako, hindi naman ako pwedeng disente.
Exactly. Kung ikaw mag-decenter like,
Yeah.
talagang dapat on brand. Dapat on brand ka pa rin.
Tama.
Ako ang suggestion ko, Sir Ronald, cool pal. Cool na kupal. cool pal. Di ba? Like,
Yan yung,
kupal.
di ba yung kanta na maginoo na medyo bastos?
Ang bago
Ayun, ganun
ngayon,
ka.
cool pal. Cool pal. Medyo cool, pero kupal. Or kupal na medyo cool, di ba? I think it could work. I think it could work. But yun nga, you have to build that. Yeah. I mean, ako, whatever happens in 2025, it's important to show that there's a third force. I think that's the point. Because this is also about 2028. Kasi nakakainis itong Duterte Marcos lang. Hanggang dyan na lang ba tayo? There's so much more than that. But last point on this, Ronald, no? Kasi siguro the rest we have to do off the record na lang. Huwag natin ubusin lahat. There should be also multi-level, para multi-level marketing. Kasi may mga messaging sila na papasok sa middle class and then may messaging na masa, di ba?
Exactly.
You can guess what will work with the middle class eh. Especially what brought out the pink. Especially a lot of our followers, di ba? Yeah. Pero may hanapin din tayo na dapat tatatak sa masa. And by the way, one of the proudest things sa atin, Ronald, marami daw nakikinig sa atin from different socioeconomic backgrounds. So I'm very, very proud of that. From people who work from Wall Street, dun sa mga manong na, so I'm really proud of that. But kaya nga, conscious din ako sometimes not to overemphasize class differences or something. But at the same time, there has to be the kind of a segmented strategy, right?
Well, kung titingnan nila, babasahin nila yung mga surveys, there's a growing segment ng populasyon, no? Na lumalabas na dun sa 61% na bumoto dun sa unit team. Partly dahil disenchanted sila dun sa naging unraveling, partly wala sila nakikitang compelling na dahilan to stick with that narrative, no? At nagbabari yan eh. Yung iba 30%, yung iba 50%, naghahanap ng alternative. Pero kailangan maunawaan nila ano yung hinahanap at ano yung inaayawan. So, kinakailangan yan ginawa last year eh. No? Dahil nga, filing candidacy na sa October. So, kinakailangan na i-fast track yan.
My sense, Ronald, to be fair, is maybe because there was a lot of internal dynamics there, for the lack of better term. I'm sure after 2022, not everyone was on the same page. May mga iba dyan na totally nag-denialist na hindi, the whole thing dinayaan ng view, and then there's some na siguro talagang na-depressed na PTS na ayaw na talaga. And then there are others who are trying to figure out, and I think maybe Bami's one of them.
Sayang yung eh.
I know what you're saying, the momentum.
Yeah. Hindi, sayang yung pink wave eh. No?
But don't you think you can revive that in a way?
Well, in a few months.
Yeah, I mean, by February next year. I mean, if you work now, hindi kaya by February next year.
Tapos yung iba, anecdotal yung iba galit. Yung iba bitter. Dahil hindi na sila binalikan. Hindi na sila pinaliwanagan. May massive cheating ba? No? Anong gagawin natin?
Sila kung biglang lalapit ka dahil election.
Anong gagawin natin next? Diba? Paano? Ang gagawin mo naman sana, Thanksgiving eh. Thanking them and then listening. That would have helped consolidate the pink wave after the election.
Well, I think
it's a listening tour.
I agree with you, Ronald. I've been saying this since 2022, but at the same time, the listening tour may work if it's done properly in the next 6 months. May not work 100%, but it might work 60%.
Sana, pero marami Maraming
Yeah,
naasar.
go there and hear them
Yeah,
out. Yung
yeah, yeah.
inis sila.
Yeah. Tapos ayun nga, dahil wala kayo masyadong machinery, wala kayo masyadong nung after the election meron pa eh. Ngayon wala ka na masyadong machinery. Dahil marami diyan nagbali ka na eh. No, nagbali ka na. So you have to pump prime that. And to pump prime that, you need resources. Eh syempre, you're in the opposition, hindi ganun karami resources mo. Hindi ganun karami ang iyong local officials. Nag-iisa practically yung senador mo na tutulong sa'yo. So, hindi ganun kadali. After the election, may
It is hard.
machinery,
I think, yeah.
may intensity, no? Meron pang kwan eh. Meron pang political will.
I
Ngayon,
understand. I
hindi ko
understand.
sigurado. Ngayon, hindi ko sigurado.
Ronald, what about the aspect of, kasi, I don't know, iba kasing pink in a sense that they only had to choose Lenny talaga eh. Lenny versus Marcos unit team. Now it's 12 options.
Yeah.
Isn't there a way for them to sing it themselves into some sort of a mumbo-jumbo rainbow coalition kind of thing?
They have to
kind of sing it
consolidate.
themselves within
So they have to consolidate. Halimbawa, umalis si Bam sa Liberal Party. Nagbuo siya ng bagong partido. Although, inispin yan nila, oh, that's good. That's addition. Ibig sabihin, pag ikaw ay naging subtraction, that is addition. No? Medyo nakakatawa. Pero, bigyan na natin sa kanila yun. No? Pero, even the Liberal Party has to consolidate. Meron kang dalawa na nasa minority, meron kang party president na independent minority, at meron kang 5 na nasa majority, at yung isa co-author ng Maharlika, pro-Chacha, etc. So, even the Liberal Party has to consolidate politically, not only organizationally. What do they stand for? No? What do they stand for? Yung sinasabi mo kanina. No? Without that, you're damaged goods pagpunta mo sa campaign.
Yeah. I mean, again, for me, I don't know, looking at elections around the world, including interesting elections in Thailand, I think there are always possibilities, but the right thing has to be done, even if it's late, because there's still the 2028 fight to be fought. Ganito na lang tingin ko din. But maybe, Ronald, and now suddenly I'm the more optimistic guy between the two of us, having been whining since 2022. But for me, kasi it's important that there is an opposition there just in case if BBM comes on top of the Duterte fight and then suddenly looks around and feels I can go for gold, right? Kasi nakakatakot yung possibility na yan eh, na talagang all-out chacha na yan. We know that's not impossible. So you really want to hope that there would be another force just to balance the scale, just in case. On that note, before we get a little bit delusional or pessimistic, I want to end on this note because we have to talk about lastly a very important topic. I'm sure Ronald marami kang masabi dito. The divorce law. let's discuss this a little bit. Obviously, hindi lang divorce ang gusto kong pag-usapan. There are many corollary. This issue of religion and state relations in a secular republic. Pag-usapan natin yun because you were the political affairs secretary of Pinoy, who, God bless his soul, pushed for RH bill despite very, very vehement opposition from the church, right? So pag-usapan natin yan. Thank you very much, Sir Ronald.
May kulanong salita na ang ibig sabihin dito ay ang pagkakaisa. Bunyog Party List. Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na. Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na.
Sa susunod, ang atinang suportahan, Bunyog Party List, nagtataguyod ng katotohanan, lumalaban para sa bayan.